GTA Online, one of the most popular games in the whole world, a game that is so deeply rooted into today's pop culture, and for a good reason. GTA is an almost perfect parody of the whole American society, with sarcastic takes on the radio.
We Americans are such Philistines, we haven't understood the cultural significance of mass hatred, xenophobia, and alcohol abuse.
In the cutscenes.
So tell me, what do you think about the Canadians?
Canadians? The worst. The absolute worst. Worse than the Mexicans.
And an overall parody of the American products and cities. But there is another aspect of real life that has made its way to the GTA universe, and perhaps not even intentionally. Of course, I am talking about inflation. And no, I am not going to talk about, oh look, in 2013 the most expensive car only cost $1 million, and now a shitty old police car costs $6 million. While this is true, then there is actually a lot more behind this topic. Prices have not gone up in only the vehicle market of GTA, but also in the arms dealing, the property markets, and the overall expenses. How has Rockstar managed to so effectively raise the price of basically everything in the game throughout the last decade? And is there perhaps something more behind this activity than larger shark card sales? Well, for these questions and many more, we finally have the answers in this documentary. To understand how the artificial inflation created by Rockstar over the years has shaped the reality of GTA players, let's first travel back in time to when GTA Online was first released. Fall of 2013. You logged into the online servers for the first time ever, having to your name nothing but a $2,500 pistol, and then you saw another player who started playing 3 weeks before you, driving past you in a pink Pegasi Vaca, and it just felt like a dream to own one of these yourself. Now, you might be wondering that why am I talking about a $250,000 car like it was ever anyone's dream to own this? Well, if you think like that, you clearly didn't play back then. The reality is that back then your money on the Maze Bank account was worth a lot more than it is nowadays, meaning $250,000 was way more to any player than we imagine it to be now in 2025. Overall, when GTA Online first came out, the rule of thumb was that everything cost around the same as its real-life counterpart. For example, the benefactor Schwarzer, the GTA counterpart of the Mercedes E550 Coupe, cost 80 grand in GTA, while the suggested retail price in real life during that time was $73,000. The Coil Voltic counterpart to the Tesla Roadster, $150,000 in GTA, $128,000 in real life. Pegasi Vaca, $250,000 in the game, and Lamborghini Gallardo, 210 to 290 grand in real life. You get the point. And it was logical that the game was set up like that. After all, GTA is supposed to represent real life as closely as possible. Back then, the time you had to grind for a car like that was more determined by not the price of it, but rather how much you could possibly earn from all the missions and contact jobs you were able to do. And it was a lot easier for Rockstar to control this, because unlike today, where there's seemingly endless ways to earn money in the game, back in 2013 you only kind of had a few missions and races you could play through. Although it also depended largely on how well you completed these missions and races, then on average you would expect to get around $15,000 to $20,000 from a successful mission. And believe it or not, back then it was considered good money for the time. As time progressed, the game didn't stay stagnant, but rather progressed with it. And here's also how the inflation started appearing. Although, contrary to mainstream belief, it didn't start right away. At first, there was actually even a drop in the vehicle prices. You see, in 2014, with 2 DLCs, the business update and the high life update, Rockstar introduced 2 new supercars that have stayed fan favorites to this day, the Turismo R and the Pegasi Centorno. Turismo R came with a $500,000 price tag, while the Pegasi Centorno set you back 725 grand. Nothing too crazy considering the fact that there were cars that cost $1 million when the game first released. And why I said that the prices actually went down is because the car's real-life counterparts, the LaFerrari and the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, cost anywhere between $1.5 to $3 million. Quite a significant amount of money compared to the 500 to 700 grand in GTA, but unfortunately the trend didn't stay like this. In 2015, Rockstar released two ill-gotten gains updates, and alongside many other vehicles, Rockstar released the 10 most expensive vehicle, the Progen T20. Although a fan favorite vehicle, then it also cost a whopping $2.2 million, while the real-life counterpart McLaren P1's MSRP was only around $1.35 million. And that wasn't even the craziest part. Rockstar also released two very controversial aircrafts, the Golden Helicopter and the Golden Airplane, setting players back $5.2 and $10 million. Now this was really something. At the time, players had never ever seen anything with an even remotely close of a price tag. And if you think there was anything special about these aircrafts, you are wrong. These were just already existing aircrafts in the game, just painted gold. And as weird as it might sound, there was actually a need for Rockstar to release these vehicles. Before the golden aircrafts were added to the game, there was the heists update. And if you know anything about this DLC, you know that this DLC completely changed the dynamic of GTA Online. Before that, GTA Online was quite a secondary game compared to the actual GTA 5 storyline. There were only simple unrelated missions you could complete, but the heists update changed all of that. 5 different heists, each with its own setups, and of course the paychecks were also considerably larger than the ones you got from random contact jobs. And not only that, if you and your friends managed to complete all 5 heists without dying, you completed the Criminal Mastermind challenge and were rewarded $10 million. Now at the time, there literally wasn't anything you could buy for that amount of money, and so Rockstar kind of added these golden aircrafts as something that a player could in theory purchase if he had managed to complete the challenge. This also didn't break the game in any way, because other than the appearance, the golden aircrafts didn't have any special abilities which you couldn't play the game without, unlike the Oppressor, but we'll talk about it in another video. It was around the 2016 and early 2017 mark that the inflation of the GTA currency became quite noticeable for the wider community. Firstly, releasing cars that cost well over $2 million became a regular occurrence. The Progen Tyrus and RE7P with the Cunning Stunts update, the $2.8 million X80 Proto with finance and felony, the XA21 with gun running, you get the point. And so from this point there started being no similarity to the real life in terms of the prices, because ain't no way someone is paying over 400 grand for a Aspo in real life. And this kind of an inflation of prices gradually continued for years on end, to the point where now we have supercars reaching the $3 million mark, and yes, completely regular police cars for a ridiculous $5 million. The question is that why would Rockstar Games inflate the prices of such vehicles so much, knowing that it would have a negative effect for their reputation? Well, of course the obvious answer for many of you guys is shark card sales, and not to say that this isn't one of the reasons, then the answer is actually a lot more complicated. Yes, it is true that an increase of the prices perhaps also increases the chance of the community buying more shark cards, but let's also be realistic. how many of you guys are going to spend $100 to buy yourself 2 police cars in GTA? Maybe only the biggest YouTubers are able to do that. So there must be another answer, or more like a combination of a few different reasons. The first one of the reasons is that along with prices, grinding money in game has also become 10 times easier. The payouts for most of the heists and businesses has at least tripled, and not only the payouts, but also the amount of passive income businesses that a player is able to own nowadays is through the roof. The amount of ways you can make money nowadays has enabled the players to basically just sell their stocks of their businesses and then go and buy whatever it is they want from the new DLCs. And if you combine the seemingly endless opportunities of making money in game with the fact that for every new item added to the game there is a cost for also Rockstar to pay for the designers and programmers, you understand why Rockstar couldn't release new vehicles for what they would cost in the real world. And finally, I think it is fair to say that with a few exceptions, vehicles added with the DLCs over the years have gone more and more fun to use in the game. We have gained vehicles with various abilities, including waterproof vehicles, cars with jumping abilities, rocket-powered vehicles, and various different unique aircrafts. So it is only fair to kind of lock these more unique vehicles behind a larger paywall. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, that is it for this documentary. If you did enjoy, make sure to also check out my other videos about the GTA universe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.